Few are as spectacular as the palm cockatoo. With its dazzling war bonnet-like crest and bare red-cheek patches, it's hard not to be captivated by such a magnificent bird. Palm cockatoos have the largest bill of any parrot except the hyacinth macaw. Large nuts inaccessible to other parrots are opened with ease. When excited, their red cheeks grow even brighter. Foot stomping is another way of expressing excitement, especially during courtship. Palm cockatoos express themselves with a variety of calls, but perhaps the most amazing is this one. It's simply uncanny how similar it is to the human word hello. Here in the Iron Range National Park, they are less dependent on rainforest and are frequently found in upland forests as well, where they nest. When afternoon temperatures become oppressive, they simply retreat to the nearby thick rainforest to stay cool. Palm cockatoos tend to be very secretive around their nests. While one adult is at the nest, its mate keeps a wary eye out for predators. At the least sign of danger, a warning call is given, a signal to evacuate quickly. Palm cockatoos only lay one egg per nesting season, and only a small percentage of their chicks survive to fledging. Palm cockatoos embody all that is wild about Cape York. With continued conservation measures and protection, they will continue to fly free and wild here for generations to come. At well over 60 centimetres in length, Australia's largest parrot is the yellow-tailed black cockatoo. Yellow-tailed black cockatoos are found primarily in the forests of New South Wales and Victoria, but there are also local populations in South Australia, Queensland and Tasmania. Their large size is deceiving, as these big cockatoos effortlessly cover vast distances with ease. Yellow-tailed black cockatoos are versatile feeders but have a preference for banksias and other native plants. Their powerful bills make them adept at snipping off these cone-like fruits. Females have bright yellow cheek patches and distinct ivory-coloured bills. In contrast, males often have paler cheek patches and their bills are smoke-coloured. They're unique in respect to being one of the few parrots that regularly feed on insect larvae that have burrowed into trees. With such a powerful bill, pulling apart the wood to get at this treat is easily accomplished. Where available, pine cones are a particularly favourite food. And where pine plantations occur, there is evidence to suggest that the yellow-tailed black cockatoo is actually increasing. Pair bonds are strong in this species and usually last for life. Here in the Blue Mountains, gangangs and yellow-tailed black cockatoos share their forest habitat with a much rarer parrot, the glossy-black cockatoo. Because of habitat loss, numbers are low throughout their range in eastern Australia. A major reason for low numbers is that these are specialist feeders. They rely almost solely on a unique diet of casuarina seeds. Without this specific food source, they will not survive. Males such as this one take almost 5 years to acquire the trademark crimson tail feathers. Females, on the other hand, are identified by patterns of yellow in their head feathers and have barred tails. Glossies produce only one chick at a time, and they are devoted parents. The chick is doted upon constantly. Young birds, like this adult-sized male, may be able to feed himself, but is constantly offered comfort and reassurance by his mother. His persistent constant calling keeps him in close contact with his family group. Separated, he could easily fall prey to a host of aerial predators, such as the larger hawks and eagles. These are placid, gentle cockatoos, often allowing an observer a close approach. Their interesting behaviour can offer the patient observer hours of entertainment. Australia has 2 species of white-tailed black cockatoos. They inhabit a tiny range in the most extreme southwestern corner of the country. These are Carnaby's black cockatoos. They're feeding on the seed pods of a marri tree. While some of the pods are chewed open and eaten, others are simply sampled and then dropped. This feeding location is next to a busy highway north of Perth. The birds seem unfazed by the rushing of traffic beneath them. After feeding on marri seeds, the Carnaby's moves on to a feast of banksias. Some stand guard, but once the coast is clear, they take their turn as well. Just like going to the market, not every banksia fruit will do, and some have to be sampled. Once the choice has been made, the banksia is snipped off at the base to make it easier to get at. To the Carnaby's cockatoo, this is not just nutrition but an entertaining toy. And sharing is definitely not an option. Interacting with neighbours and maintaining pair bonds can get a bit rowdy at times. But once pairs are established, they're extremely loyal. Whether in courtship or caring for young birds, feeding between two Carnabys seems a bit rough, but allows for an effective quick transfer of food from one bird to another. This female has flown into a prospective nest hollow to carefully check to see if it will meet her needs for raising a family. The male keeps an eye on her and another eye out for potential predators. Carnaby's cockatoos are at a disadvantage when it comes to breeding, as they generally only spend time at potential nest cavities when it's time to reproduce. This gives advantage to other cockatoos, which often visit their nest sites year-round, guarding them from others, including the Carnabys. Studies are currently underway to determine how to improve breeding habitat for this endangered and beautiful cockatoo. Baudin's black cockatoo is almost identical to the Carnaby's, but has an even smaller breeding range and tends to be found in wetter areas. The upper mandible is noticeably longer when clearly visible, which unfortunately is not often. Baudins also have a more abrupt call as opposed to the drawn-out cries of the Carnabys. They have different feeding habits as well, and are almost never found in pine plantations. Agitated at being intruded upon, this Baudin shows his displeasure by tail fanning. With such small breeding ranges and vulnerable numbers, both of these black cockatoos will require careful monitoring and continuous conservation measures in the future.